It was one of those.
Okay, I would like to, sorry, I've never spoken to one of these masks before a meeting like this. I would like to welcome everybody to the Public Arts Commission meeting, June 23rd, 2020.
22.
June 22nd, sorry, 23rd was the day my daughter was supposed to be born. June 22nd, 2023, our last regularly scheduled Public Arts Commission meeting. John, do we need to, I know I ask this every time, do we need to establish a quorum or can we just?
All members are present.
Okay, we have established our quorum. I will look out to the vast public. We do have one public member. Public, do you have any comments on items not on the agenda? For the crickets?
We do have one.
Do we have one person?
line, So
Yeah.
if there's anybody in the public that would like to speak, they can use the raise hand feature.
Hand is raised.
Hello, I'm Matt Duffy. I am just here to answer questions for later. I've never done a Zoom this way before, so I didn't really know how it was set up.
It's fine. So your item is going to be the second item on the agenda. So usually this portion of the meeting
Right.
is items on the agenda, but we appreciate you being here.
Yeah, and anytime you have a question, just let me know and I'll answer what I can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to take it that otherwise we have no questions, no comments on items not on the agenda, and we'll go on to the regularly scheduled agenda items. The draft minutes, I'm going to turn to.
I would like to move to approve the draft minutes from May 25th, 2023.
Second. John.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
One down. Potential Gateway Arts Project. So before we start on this, I'm going to ask any questions from the public. No, okay. John, a quick question about budgeting. This is going to segue into this particular agenda item. So I know that the city runs on a fiscal calendar. It ends June 30th. We did not as a commission budget, but we are also becoming part of another commission. Will we be able to budget when the commissions are merged?
Yeah, so like in the past, if there's a project that the commission wants to recommend, especially an art project that tends to be a capital project, those can be proposed and recommended, and then money's budgeted throughout the year.
Okay. So for agenda item 2, the subcommittee has spoken amongst ourselves and we have a short presentation of different ideas that we have. Very exciting first slide, Gateway Project ideas. Sorry, no pictures. And let's go ahead.
Nice and clear.
Straight to the point, ding. Okay, and I'm going to hand it over to Donna, the first couple that we have here.
Yeah, so this is in relation to last time we were talking about a gateway project. There was one proposal and then we were asked to come back and bring some more. So this is one artist, Marie-Pierre Philippe. She had some pieces that we were looking at and thought that they might be possibilities. So we're presenting them here. The pictures are there.
The picture are there, and also I'll mention that on September 30th, 2021, the Public Arts Commission, the previous rendition of the Public Arts Commission, picked some pieces for, we had a call for art, we picked pieces for Art Without Walls. So I think it was Janet who said that oh, why don't you go back? I liked a couple of the pieces. And
Yes.
so then we also, as a subcommittee, went and looked back at that packet because there were a lot of
Oh,
items there that we liked. So, and this is one of them. So,
Thank you. Thank you for filling that in.
all right, ding.
So these are, this is one piece called Jazzy. The dimensions are there. And I think, we're thinking about a gateway project, so we're thinking about a location that would be central, either downtown or in Lincoln Park, close, so that it could get a lot of viewings. And so I don't know that it makes sense to go through each piece and say, what a good location would be, but just I think those are generally ones that get a lot of views, so just maybe picture it potentially there. So that's one. Here's Starry. Oh, Jazzy, Starry. And we can go through these again. I think, we should just go through and everybody should just see it. And then we can go through them if people want to see them again.
I like that one. I like that one.
Yeah, this is a more classical piece, more realistic, and I like this too. It's of all of them.
This one's called Meditation.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now, this is an interesting piece. I saw that I really liked. It's not that big. But it could be put on a pedestal like in the pictures on the right. And I think it's whimsical. I think it's pretty, it's about a muse. It's one of the muses, Cleo. And that's what it looks like. I think it's different. I think the color pops. I think it's very pleasing. I can actually picture it in the square, on a pedestal, so that people can view it.
When you say the square, you mean like Veterans Plaza School?
Yeah, or like, it's just, somewhere where it gets a lot of views.
And this can be outdoors. It's made for outdoors.
It's bronze.
Yeah,
I know, but it looks kind of delicate, like the butterflies. And I mean, the picture has it inside. I don't know.
picture
I'm
has
just,
its side, yeah. Well, it's something that we can double check.
I love it. This is like my favorite. one, but-
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really popped for me.
Yeah.
It just looks stunning.
Yeah.
So,
just always
2
been
feet
built
high
up.
is not really tall for an outside piece.
no,
But they put it in one of the flower pots that are on the corner.
oh, no, I think it would be too low. I think we
Yeah.
want it high up.
Yeah.
On a pedestal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that it's actually, most people would be looking up to see it.
Like a Roman pedestal.
Yes. So that adds the classical
Yeah,
aspect.
exactly.
Yeah, I think that would be very eye-catching and
Yeah, it would be.
conversation.
We don't
Everybody-
have anything like it.
Yeah,
No,
I love it.
and it is it is a.
What are the flowers made of?
Butterflies. They're butterflies.
This is bronze.
Well, butterflies and flowers. What are they made of? Bronze
Bronze.
too?
Bronze.
It
It's
says
colored-
bronze.
It's colored blue paint. It's like blue painted bronze.
Oh.
I love it. I'm just worried about what the weather will do to it.
Yeah, and so that's something, we didn't want to go talking to the artists, getting their, unless we got some positive.
Do we have any place that's under something
Um,
Like an entrance.
like the community center somewhere?
is it-
I think
yeah,
I'm- yeah.
How about it's here?
We can get rid of the water fountains.
Somehow I think people would not like it.
No, they're not gonna like.
Why would it be hurt? The color?
Potentially, or maybe not. Maybe it is weather resistant. It's just.
I'm sure it's weather
bronze.
resistant, but you get oak leaves and pollen and
Yeah,
Oh.
gunk.
gunk.
Yeah, because
I
it's
like
like a
that word.
delicate, it's delicate,
I love it.
And there's a lot of little nooks and crannies.
Mhm.
I would love to see it inside. so.
Me too. I'm just trying to think where we
But
could
keep
stick
in
it.
mind that the idea of a gateway
To
project.
have a lot of views.
Yeah.
is to have a lot of use.
I like
something
that for
says
some other
you're in
place.
Los Altos.
The community center.
House where, yeah, my house.
Except
Yeah,
we
it's
already
only
have
$55,000. No
Bunch of
problem.
stuff at the community center.
Community center, I don't know if anybody goes much there.
Yeah.
Well, as part of the new mixed combined commission, the community center will be probably part of the discussion. And my understanding is I go there for things and there's always
There's always people there.
in so.
You know, what's interesting is there's people in all those rooms working on computers.
And
Yeah,
I
it's
know
why-
that they're rented, the rooms are rented out on
Yeah.
the weekend, so it is getting used, which is.
I like that idea. Parks and Recs would like it too. Culture,
Okay,
whatever it is.
ding.
Okay, next. Of
Okay.
course, I love Matthew Duffy.
So Mr. Duffy is on the line. My thought was, as a quote unquote gateway project, in my mind, a gateway project is something that we commission, in a specific site, something that's, specific to our city. But going back, we loved these hearts 2 years ago, and my thought was maybe 2 or 3 hearts located in various spots in the city that kind of tied the city together. I think it's a good symbol. Nobody hopefully can hate a heart. If they do, then they don't have one. And you know, I would probably say that a subcommittee would find like what the right specific spots would be
Yeah.
for this. But I think,
Ideas.
and then with the re-landscaping and redoing of San Antonio, my thought was eventually getting yet another one and placing it as part of that whole process somewhere along San Antonio as well.
They have a great Southwest Altos location.
We're in Southwest.
Arboretum and Grant. I know, no one knows.
Yeah.
So it's
On
like
my way
we,
to Trader
right before you
Joe's.
pull into Lucky's,
Mhm.
Yeah,
there's just like this open corner that's just really barren and it looks so nice there.
yeah.
And it is, I mean, it's not exactly the border of Los Altos, but it's close.
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
Yeah, I mean, something that it's kind of an entrance into Los Altos.
I would say it
So-
is.
These
Yeah.
are two different pieces, right?
These are two different pieces.
I love the idea of the heart. I love the work. I have an idea for another spot, which would be, where we used to have rock, paper, scissors.
Except that we're gonna put that giant art thing.
Yeah.
there.
Oh, we are, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
I have a spot, Riverside in Covington. There's that big island there that's I don't know what you call it. It's,
Oh, that they created
Yeah,
so you can't like
right, so
turn.
you
Oh,
can't
yeah,
turn.
yeah.
that would
Yeah,
be a
that would be
great.
exciting.
spot. No, it's Riverside in Covington.
Have you ever gone out like the back of Rancho and then
It's
try and
back
go
of
around
Rancho,
and then it like
yeah.
forces you to.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. That's a good spot.
It's like a
They
funnel.
have beautiful flowers there.
Yeah.
too.
here's another idea for, I maybe I'm partial to it because I remember I miss rock, paper, scissors, but what about the island that's between Centrella and Chevron?
Yeah,
Because there used to be a huge tree there.
I like that
And
idea.
that-
I
too.
think
That's
that'd be
that's a
good
great
spot.
idea.
Yeah.
That is a
That's a
gateway
great idea.
location.
That's a good, great.
Welcome to
gateway.
Los Altos. We love
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Please
Go
buy a
home
lot
at
of
night.
stuff.
buy during the day and go home at night.
I love that.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Wait,
We'll go ding, and then I have information from the packet that he had provided 2 years ago. Let's a little bit more, and we'll go ding one more time or a couple more times. All right,
So this was also another idea. This is Damian Radis. I don't know how you say his name actually. But there's some information about him over there. He was born in Pueblo, Colorado. It's just some information on the artist.
and we just purchased his Day in the Serengeti. And
yeah,
I asked him if
everybody
he
loved
heard
it.
from John, and he said, yes, he's been in contact with John.
Okay, do you want to look at the pieces?
Ding.
Ding.
So I thought this was, it's different from the Serengeti piece. It has a different flavor. I thought it was interesting. Maybe actually placed as a panel against some wall. But it's also an interesting, I think, conversation piece.
I have some thoughts on this piece.
Okay.
You don't like it? It's kind of dark and it says.
It's, I
dark.
personally see it as like,
Well, he says it's one of my
It's-
darker pieces.
yeah, to me, it, God, this is gonna be very, extreme, but it feels a little genocidal to me, like people are being like obliterated.
Yeah.
Like the genocide or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. I think it's
Or
a very
drowning.
controversial
It
piece.
looks drowning to me.
Yeah, I mean, well, he talks about how it's one of his darker pieces and he like created at a time where he felt like humanity was, what did he say?
Deteriorating.
Yeah, deteriorating.
Sinking.
So, and but then he's like, oh, but if you're optimistic, you'll see it as people rising out of the,
That's how I saw
Like
it,
that.
actually. I
Oh.
didn't see it as dark, but you know,
that's good.
but that's the beauty of art. is
That's
you
the
have-
beauty of
That's
art,
true.
You
yeah.
can have a conversation
true.
about it, and everybody's triggered by different, it's interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
I certainly have I've gone into genocide,
Right,
but that didn't strike me.
good.
But
Yeah.
everybody's, so
Yeah, every piece, we can't have every piece be happy.
Why not?
Well,
In,
Because
in-
there's more to life than being happy.
in,
There's-
well, in art classes, they will tell you all art does not have to be beautiful, but I would suspect that, the things that we pick should probably err on the side of, having a happier message, just because we don't want, bad press. That's just my opinion, but this piece could be taken either way, that they're disappearing or coming up, so. My only issue is that it's pretty small. It's 3 pieces and the total size is 36 inches, which is 3 feet. So
It's not really a gateway,
it's, I think
but
it's,
it would be a great art somewhere. I just don't know exactly
Yeah,
where.
on the wall, I think.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Not like when you're coming in to go to council.
oh, put it outside the
Yeah.
building.
For your 92-hour council meeting.
Okay. That's ding.
Oh, I love that.
This one I found online. It is available. I don't know what it costs to ship. I just thought it was kind of charming. It's kind of an amorphous sort of creature. I don't know if it's really a gateway project, and probably something that may go into a park or outside of a dog park, and perhaps keep it in your back pocket.
I like that in the
for-
back. Yeah, for the dog park.
For for something else, but I kind of reminded me of either a dog or an ape or something, but it's a nondescript animal.
A chicken or a bird there
Mhm.
with his pecking. But it's
Cool.
colorful and interesting. It makes you.
Yeah,
look.
are you gonna email all those to us, John?
Yeah. I'll put this on.
Because I want
I'll
to
put it
keep
online.
these for
Send it out to the commission.
Okay.
perpetuity.
All right, let's go ahead and.
I like that one.
Sting.
So I love that one too.
yeah, this was another piece. It's happy, it's whimsical. He's not nude, so.
Thank God.
Wait a minute, his shirt is.
Oh,
appears to be
my,
off.
the facts are showing that maybe.
Whatever,
Some
that's fine.
others. So,
No, but I mean,
But they
little
kept
kids
it two
always take their
sizes.
shirts off.
what's that?
Little kids always take their shirts off.
Yeah, I was just kidding.
Yeah,
That's fun.
I like that.
But
one.
it comes in two sizes.
This.
Too bad
yeah.
we don't have $1 million. We could buy all of them.
We could probably buy more than one.
Yeah.
Could we use our money for lotto tickets? Is that allowed?
Yeah.
No.
Mortgage? No.
That's right.
So it comes in 2 sizes, and the bigger one is 22. Is it? No, that's the smaller one. The bigger one's 50
centimeters.
inches, 69. So.
Is she European based? Because her price is in
She
Europe.
is, so she's from France, and I don't know what the shipping, it didn't say what the shipping would be.
Yeah, but it's on an international site, so,
Yeah,
I mean, I assume, yeah, we don't know how much it'll be, but.
I love this one.
me too. I like all of them pretty much.
I can't really find like in a park.
Yes, yes. I think the kids would relate to it and get their own little thing.
Yeah.
So John, can you remind us, what we budgeted for a gateway project? I think it was 70,000.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And does the money have to be spent by June 30th, or is it just like if it's in process?
so it's part of the CIP, and so that kind of works a little different than the operating budget, and so, we can, the monies will stay in there throughout, across the fiscal year.
Okay.
So you don't have to make a decision right now.
So let me start by turning to my fellow commissioners. Do you feel we should make a decision tonight? Should we have us come back for a special meeting to make a decision? Should we wait till the commission is a combined commission, which could push this back even further?
I think we've been talking about this for a long
I
time.
did not wait.
No, wait, I think we've
Yeah.
been talking about this
Yeah.
for a really long time, and
Yeah.
I think it's just time to make a decision. I mean, we all know what we like, we can see the prices, we know what. So we said 70,000, but maybe that could be 2 pieces that could amount to that. Maybe we could negotiate with the artist.
Can we go back and see them all again? I'm sorry, John.
How many ideally are we looking to pick? 2? 3? Or is it more like budgetary?
I think it's gonna be more budgetary.
Are we going to decide what to buy or where to put?
probably what to buy and then have a subcommittee look exactly where to start.
How many hearts are there? Just two.
So, Mr. Duffy, are you still online?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's check if he's still there.
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, so the question came out, you and I have already spoken about this, but how many hearts do you have available? And you also said that you can fabricate between now and August, correct?
Yes, so there's 4 different versions, and there's 9 of each in the series. And then we briefly talked about how if your city wanted something custom, I could do that as well, depending on the location, project, and all that kind of factor.
And when you say
I-
custom, that's color, correct?
Custom color, yeah. The ones that I have back from various exhibitions are the other 5-foot ones. I've done one 10-foot version. But that would be another custom thing. I don't make those on a regular basis by any means. I've only done one of those before.
I don't see any prices on there. Sorry,
Yeah, so the last one sold for 25. So that's the general
the right one or
ballpark.
the left one?
With
The one on the
The
pedestal?
last one that sold for 25 was one of the ones on the left, the
Okay.
wide version.
With the
The
custom color.
last
increase.
red version that sold, I think, was 18 or 19.
So the smaller one.
Technically, they're supposed to double each time one of them is sold out of the series, but I don't really follow that convention.
And then if we got a custom color, if we said Los Altos loves a certain green, a certain blue, and you fabricated those would not change the price, correct?
No, not really. The only thing that would really change is just timeline.
Okay.
How quickly I can get it out to you and install and everything else.
And then for the ones that have been returned that were on loan, what is the condition? Do you shine them up before you bring them out?
Yes, so they, I usually give them a once over, I clean them, oftentimes I'll give them another coat of paint. The original inception of the piece was that tractor paint, and I've found over the last couple of years that tractor paint oddly does not hold up as well as some of the high-grade enamels, so I've switched to
Oh.
those enamels.
Interesting.
Yeah, I found that very surprising, and I've talked to other artists, and they've kind of said the same thing. And then, I do a once over and a check of all the components and the pieces, the weld, stuff like that, just to make sure they can withstand what I affectionately call the drunken idiot test once they're installed. Which so far they've done pretty well with that.
And there's no
You
sharp,
mentioned no real sharp edges. I sand all the interiors, and everything is kind of hammered down. But you mentioned during the butterfly piece that you're worried about people, messing with it or breaking it off, and that isn't something to consider with public sculpture, especially depending on the context. And that's something I try to make sure that they're able to withstand.
okay.
Can children fit in those crevices?
They don't.
Okay.
I can fit my big giant head through one of the triangles when I'm welding the bottom plate and
Like a jail.
doing some of the paints on the interior. But
Wants to put one
I
of the
have
kids in there.
heard and I've found that children do like to climb on them. So that's kind of why I make sure that they're not sharp and why they can withstand people,
Well,
climbing on them.
if I had to pick anything today, I would want to pick 2 of those. That's
I
my,
think that's the one that's the easiest for all of us, because I think everyone likes them.
Well,
I would-
I,
Well, maybe
that
not.
wouldn't be my choice, so
Yeah.
I think, we should.
I
we'll
just
talk
always
about it.
like to
Yeah.
move things through.
Yeah, well, um. Yeah, I think if everybody.
Everybody else can talk.
I mean, one,
We can all talk.
Maybe-
I'm done.
Why there are such price discrepancies?
Yeah,
There was 15, it was like 15.55, right?
Which one?
Can you, for the hearts?
No.
One is 15, one is 20.
Oh,
so there, and then 25K.
oh, 25.
Yeah, so,
Oh,
I mean, so,
okay,
I mean, that would enable us to get 3.
okay.
So,
But I mean, there's still like a 10K difference.
Or we could get 2 of those on something else.
Yeah. one of them was like 50, the hoop rolling boy was 52K. Yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, but I mean, even within the hearts, wasn't there a price? It was like a range between 15 and 25?
That was 18 and 25.
Oh,
So, Mr.
No.
Duffy, for
Yeah.
the
Yes,
the two types of hearts that we have up on the screen, and you said the two prices. For the one on the right, is the heart actually smaller, or what is the difference between them? That we're not
So
seeing?
the differences in price are based on how many have been sold out of the series. So they're limited to 9. The last one that sold with the ride version, the one on the left, that was a higher number. More of those have been sold, and the one on the right was maybe the second or third out of that. Typically, when you have sculptures in series, especially in the case of bronze, you usually double the price with each one that's sold. But again, I don't really like doing that. I like working something out with various cities, and you kind of be surprised at the cities that have wanted hearts and we're able to put something together collectively in the community to make that happen. And that's usually good enough for me, so to speak, is being able to work something out.
I'm gonna say something, I'm not, I'm just throwing it out there as a point of discussion, but what if we were to get 3 parts and we have them in San Antonio? That's one gateway, and then the place out in front of Chevron, and then the other. place that you
Arboretum.
were talking about,
Yeah.
Arboretum. Then you've
I
got
like it.
kind of a theme going.
yeah, there's like continuity.
And then you've got, and it's within our budget.
Right.
You have 3 things.
For the San Antonio one that you're mentioning, I agree something should go there as a quote unquote gateway or some main entrance,
Yeah.
just that we're going to be doing a bunch of, we being the city will be doing a bunch of.
Work there, so
Yeah, there might be something
postpone.
or after the fact
Okay.
to say like eventually there'll be a 4th one.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense. Because I'm thinking with Ride, well, that maybe you could go on a pedestal as well.
Yeah,
I do like the idea of continuity, and I am really interested in purchasing at least one, but I do really like the other
yeah, and I
sculptures.
think,
Like, it'd be nice
you
to
know,
have
you
some
need to have
variety.
some diversity. You need to
Yeah.
have something different. This is very similar to a lot of things we already have in the city. And it's. I just adding more. We
Stuff.
need, I think, more
Variety.
variety, yeah. So,
This kind of reminds me, the red one kind of reminds me of that one sculpture on Grant and Fremont.
which one was that?
It's a bronze.
Red.
Yeah, the red, yeah, so maybe we could go with the bronze outer one, but I'm on board
Yeah.
with you for sure. I think
Yeah,
it'd be nice.
I think we
have
need
some-
to, I mean, in my opinion, I
Yeah.
think we really need to, branch out into other styles too.
So the other options are to talk over you is to commission a piece, commission a piece in a specific location, make it a quote unquote gateway piece. That might be at a higher price point as well. But that's another way to go about it, so.
Maybe somewhere like downtown.
Downtown is so cluttered
I
at this
know.
point. You got murals everywhere that just don't stop.
I'm trying to think of like a gateway that's the most traveled.
Well, the spot that I think Janet, you were the one who said that little triangle, that is kind of a,
That's a,
yeah.
so question. 2 hearts are 25 and 15. Was I right on that? So we'd have 35 left to do something else.
Can we,
Right, what
what was the prices on the other ones?
I was wondering about the sizes. They've got the same size and they don't, it doesn't look like it's correct.
They're the same size.
Are they?
Yeah.
I mean, this one looks much,
That's because it's on a
It's
pedestal.
just, yeah,
I mean, the one on the left looks.
Do all the
bigger.
pictures again.
I think it's just the angle. I think it's just,
Maybe.
Look at this.
I like
Really
this
nice
one.
one on the
Yeah.
left.
Yeah, my favorite is the next one where it's more.
Abstract.
Yeah, I
No,
like
not
that.
No, not that, sorry, the one.
I like
after.
Meditation.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
meditation, Yeah.
But really, my favorite's the head. I mean, I like all of them, but I like the head. And the boy with this one, yeah,
Yeah.
the
I
head.
like the boy with the.
But to me, the head is just, it's too small. I know you want to put it on a pedestal, but it doesn't.
It's $55,000.
It doesn't read gateway, and the boy, I think, would be great in a park though.
Yeah, I
That would
love
be
that.
real great.
Yeah, I think that's lovely. It has the spirit of the park. Place.
I
We're
think
gonna
that's so
make- bring your
expensive
keep
because of
trade.
all the intricate stuff. That's the only thing I can think
This
of.
is, I think this is, everyone's agreed, this is a no.
Yeah, I think.
I just can't unsee that.
We
Sorry.
do love day on the
I
sand.
just feel like it's very emotionally charged.
I like these.
I love
Yeah.
that one, yeah.
But we can't put that.
These are lovely.
Are we just looking for a gateway piece? Are we looking for, I mean, that's what I want to be clear on, or,
Yeah, so the
Okay.
agenda item is gateway.
okay, so in that case. I mean, it should be something that speaks to Saltos.
Yeah, that would be hard to see like on
Yeah.
the expressway.
Yeah,
We'll see on the town.
Yeah,
And
it's
at
definitely
night, it
part of
might be
peace.
scary. You might think it's actually somebody there. Oh my God. He's not running
Yeah.
into my car, is he?
It's a good argument that it should be something that. Are we gonna put lights on it in a park?
It could sit on top of a fountain. I mean, I don't, do we have a fountain where it could be like in the middle?
And if we go back into a drought, it'll never run water again. Do people want to think about this? We could call
it's also 52,000.
plus
So-
shipping.
Yeah, so if we get a more expensive piece, then we'll just get one expensive piece.
I like this for
I
park.
like this
This one
one.
is gateway.
No,
This is for park. But it's charming.
It is charming. I mean, I would like to bring this back,
Me too.
bring it back.
Yeah.
So
Actually, you know where I think that one would be great would be in Veterans Plaza.
Yeah.
Because the kids skateboard over there and stuff like that, and people sit. There's tons of people that are sitting all over the place there.
Yeah, I think. it would be
I
nice.
think
On
that
a-
would be
on
a great,
On a pedestal.
yeah, on a pedestal, yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be gorgeous.
are we allowed to plunk a pedestal again in Veterans Plaza, or did that go the way of Walter Singer?
You could recommend it to the council.
See,
But
I'm
that's
sorry,
not the
what was the
gateway.
history?
Oh, there was Walter Singer.
Oh,
the
he's
bus.
going over to
Yeah, it's
Chamber of
bus window,
Commerce,
but,
so.
but that means that you can't have another pedestal.
I'm just wondering if we could put a pedestal there. I just know that that's a
would be a
particularly
plat-
charged.
It'd be more like a
location.
platform.
It'd be a platform.
Yeah. Cause it's pretty big.
Yeah,
But I know that that spot also gets a lot of traffic during the Art and Wine
you
Festival.
want to
so,
take away space, I think.
yeah.
yeah, that would probably be good in Lincoln Park,
Yeah, I think it would be good.
like near the area where they have the festival.
I like it in the grass.
Yeah.
I know, I can't think of
Yeah.
anywhere but the grass.
I know.
Yeah, it looks perfect with the ground.
Totally.
Yeah, it would go good in, yeah, I think it would go great in Lincoln Park,
Yeah.
right where the festival is, the art festival.
The arts.
Mhm.
The arts,
Yeah,
yeah, arts.
and it even like works with like the shape of the park, because it's like long, you
Yeah.
know, so it like,
Yeah, he can
Yeah.
have it forever.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
So
lovely.
reserve this,
I would.
Reserve it for next
reserve
time.
for, yeah, next time, does that sound okay?
Sure.
So would it go,
But it may not be
May-
available, by the way. I mean, it's not always
Maine and-
available. It's gonna be probably sold. It's gorgeous.
It
so would it
just
be
doesn't
at
say
at
gate.
Edith or would it be at Maine?
Hmm?
Would it be at Edith or at Maine? You're talking at Maine, right?
Probably Edith, but well, because, yeah, we don't know, somewhere along in the.
I think
park.
it should be
So-
me, because there's more people that walk from downtown.
The only thing
Yeah.
I'll say though is, it's, and I would love it there, but is that, are we ignoring South Los Altos because there's so much art?
Stand.
Oh, yeah, there's so much art there already. And I mean, there's art there for a reason. It's beautiful. But, yeah. So,
I mean, I'm partial, but
yeah, I mean, but you're representing them, so.
yeah, I mean, we had that, what is that body shop called right next to Lucky's?
The one that had the dinosaurs in
Yes.
the front.
And it was, I like really appreciated it because it really beautified that otherwise just kind of
I
boring
collect
strip.
Stegosauruses, so I was very excited.
It's so sweet. I love that they did that. So yeah, so it's almost like, it's like almost directly across from that, and there's just this huge corner that's just, it could use something.
Since
Yeah.
since we have to focus on Gateway now, how about if we were to do a special meeting for parks, art in the park? And then we
Yeah.
could come back and maybe then discuss this in more detail.
Maybe once we're merged, well, we'll merge next
Next meeting, but there's no meetings in July.
Okay.
So it'd technically be
So,
August.
yeah, so it's our next meeting essentially, even though.
No,
July.
well, we, I guess as of July, 22nd, we're two merged organizations, so it would have to be before that,
Yeah, well, as you said, this is our last meeting.
last regular. meeting.
We've had special meetings before.
Yeah.
And they go quick.
So if we do a special meeting, what are we trying to decide? Is the question.
Well, I guess,
Just outside of Gateway.
yeah,
right?
yeah, non-gateway art, based on what you and Donna have brought here,
Okay,
or whatever Carrie may remember of her work.
You mean the sites of where to go?
The sites and I think you had some other pieces that you liked. Maybe not.
So it was sites.
So it was the sites, okay.
Yeah, it was
okay,
sites.
Okay. I'm just throwing that out there as a way to.
okay,
Keep
to
it
keep,
moving.
keep going. Okay, so. So
If the purpose is to talk about art, say in parks, why wouldn't you wait until the two commissions are
That's
merged?
kind of what I was thinking
We're
about.
not necessarily gonna focus on parks. It's more just like picking art that, right?
yeah,
Picking art and then some of it coincidentally is gonna
Yeah.
go in a park.
maybe what we should
Like
title it
this one
is
is.
still Gateway Art Project.
I thought that's what we're doing today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this one should be a gateway. I love it, but can't really put it in a medium.
This is in a park.
Is there one that you think?
Well, I already told you what I thought,
Move on.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
What that was the end of it.
but I'd like to buy all of them, but we don't have that kind of money.
Well, we
Like,
Um,
back to,
Yeah, we
So
have one.
can we speak, can we go back really quickly? So there was the panel. Or there's this, okay, this is
I mean,
fine.
I love that,
How do you
It's
feel about
15K.
this one?
but you can't put that in the,
median. No, that's not
Median,
really,
Yeah. Okay.
it's not medium, that
Maybe you would
needs to
version
go in a
this one.
park, I think.
that's more, I think that'd be great for the dog, one of the dogs.
Yeah, I
Because
completely
they're
agree.
library.
Yeah.
Is
And I
this
can do a library.
one, is this one so showing different?
Yes, yes, it's three
just
different images of the
angles.
same one, yes.
Yeah. No, I think it's.
Well, the
lovely.
library, they're going to be doing, I think they're talking about at the next library meeting. Is it okay if I segue into a discussion quickly of the library that they're going to, the library is that way. They're looking at changing the front section, I guess blowing out the windows by the children's section, putting in a patio and such, and that's an opportunity also for art. Going forward. with-
Not that, one of those nice ones.
But they're keeping the animals, right?
Girls.
The
The
giraffe.
zooscapes,
Yeah.
yeah, the zooscapes right now has
That's
been
what I-
taken away to be
Yeah.
maintained, but that can be brought back, but. The combined new commission will probably work with the library commission to figure out art for.
It's out of control.
It's gonna be a really great.
Yeah.
Project. so.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep
You know
going
who else would be
backwards.
perfect there?
Not that one.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Is that library gonna have a covered spot? We could put the blue girl there.
You have
Blue guys. I have not seen the plans. I think the next library commission meeting, they're talking
I,
about
I
that.
would suggest waiting until that's on a future agenda.
Yeah, because that'd be a great place for that. If there's a cover,
It's a long ways away.
Yeah, it's like anything, it's gonna take a while, but it's in the planning stages.
The patio is potentially going to be funded by the library endowment, and it's a private donation that is causing this issue to come forward, but the issue itself isn't anywhere near resolved. There is no plan to do a courtyard. It's an
It's-
offer
It's,
of a
in-
donation by a private party.
yeah, it's coming up to council this Tuesday, I thought, is it not?
well, the stuff just came
Oh,
out, so
okay.
I haven't even looked at it yet.
Okay. But it is a potential item that could come to the city eventually.
Yeah, but it has to clear a bunch of hurdles.
Yeah.
Like it has to clear the North County Library Association, it has to clear, Library Commission.
Has to go
Holly,
to
Friends of the
council,
Library.
city council.
Yeah, before city council takes it up, there will be at least half a dozen hurdles.
Okay. All right,
So go from the front
so
again.
let's go from the front again. Okay. So Jazzy is 56 inches, which is approximately 12 times 4 is 48. So it's about 4.5, almost 5 feet tall.
Yeah,
Um, which is about the same size as one of the hearts. Probably less.
It reminds me of Shall We Dance?
Which still hasn't been.
this hasn't been moved.
I just walked by.
I don't think
Okay.
it's gonna get moved.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's just similar.
Go on to the next one. All right, I like this one, but it is even smaller. I don't know if it reads gateway to me, but I'm open to.
Yeah,
other
it does
people's
have a lot of
opinions.
gravitas. It's whimsical and cute and it's playground, but it's not, I think that's more regal, but are more substantial.
It's very contemplative.
Yes.
Be good in front of the council chambers.
I like the price.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a reason to pick that. How do people feel about meditation as a gateway? project?
Seems small.
60 inches.
I mean, for if you're, when I think of gateway, I think that you're going by fast, maybe in your car, and you see it and it's obvious it's there.
I think if perhaps if it was a brighter color.
Yeah.
pop
It's a
more-
little sleepy. We want something more
Yeah.
exciting and welcoming.
Yeah.
It's, I love it, but.
Yeah,
I do too. I
No,
like this a lot.
Welcome, sort of.
Right. Right, because this really want to make a statement, right, with a welcome, and it's like, what does the town represent?
Yeah.
All right.
This should be
Everything.
downtown near a hotel or something. Go to sleep.
We'll put it outside the option.
Yeah.
Okay. Our blue
Machine.
head.
Yeah.
Yes, no? Okay,
You know, my vote.
ding.
But I mean, it wouldn't
love
be able to be a gateway, right, because it most likely to be indoors and on a pedestal.
If it was on a big tall pedestal like
Yeah.
that in
Yeah.
the middle of Main and First. That median,
It's small though. How big
it's
is it?
small.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the thing.
I wish it was bigger.
It'd be a lot more money. Cause all that bronze is so intricate.
Yeah.
It takes forever to
26,
make all
it's
that.
2 feet. 26 inches is 2 feet.
Yeah, it's not very big.
Beautiful.
But
I
I
love
think
it.
perhaps keeping it in our back pocket for another location.
Yeah, it might get sold, but I'm sure they would make another different sort of thing.
Well, it's from 1949.
Well, 1949, sorry, is the birth date of the, I should have put 1949 dash.
It was created in 2015.
Oh, okay.
Antonio was born in 1949.
Okay.
Because this is off of a site that
Yeah,
also does
yeah.
auctions, so it's
Yeah.
not like, necessarily, it has old stuff too.
Oh, cool.
But you know, first dibs. right?
That's where it is from First Dibs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cause I go on that all the time. No,
Okay. All right,
once in a
Hearts.
while I do, but.
Where's Mr. Duffy located?
He's in Washington DC.
In Washington, okay, so it's not like he can pop down here.
Well, my favorite town.
And having spoken to him, I'm not sure if he's still on the line, but he said that he's done with school in July and August is when he's busy fabricating and he can drive things out. So it's like, it's the right time of year for him. As far as driving things out.
So if we were gonna buy 3 of these, where would we put them?
Now, we could always also revisit dialogue and I could ask the sculptor if he can put some,
Yeah.
like on the problemed area.
We
Uh,
can fashion a
that-
little skirt.
yeah, a
or
little
something,
something, a little siggly.
short.
But that was
Yeah,
bronze
it's big.
also, which is
Yeah.
to,
But those are outside pieces.
but to fashion. To redo it and fashion any kind of covering would have
We
to
could,
require redoing.
Sand it
Yeah.
down,
Sand it down.
really. The vascular.
I know,
Sand down all
I hate
the
that I
stuff
had to
that-
play devil's advocate on that. It doesn't affect
Sand
me,
down
but I
all that
just
stuff so
know
we don't
that
have to see it.
someone will be offended by it.
If we went the way of the hearts, we were talking about, say that. Possibly one in downtown in the Triangle,
Mhm.
and then one in Southwest Alton.
Yeah. Arboretum and, what
Yeah.
did you say?
Grant,
Grant,
Yeah.
yes.
I like the title, The Way of the Hearts. That could be a nice.
You could do a bicycle.
actually, we
ride.
have a bunch of signs there. And so it is like a welcoming into Los Altos. It talks, what is it called? Terry, you probably know better than I do.
I
It's,
know.
it has like like those old, like original wood signs. And it
I
says
totally
like
could take a
Los
look.
Altos, it's like the shopping district of Los Altos, which
Yeah.
is like so cute because it's like Lucky's and like an auto body shop and then like a little, we have a little retail plaza, but so it could be, you know,
Was-
interpreted as the gateway.
Was there a third spot that you were thinking? You know Los Altos better than any of us.
Well, yeah, I don't know where down by Chef Choose you put it, because there's the median.
You have the, what do you call the things with the pine or the same?
You have
Los
the
Altos?
median. You have the median. And
But I think that whole section is gonna be
Yeah,
probably.
they're working on it.
redone.
redone.
Kind of busy there. It's kind of
I
congested.
think it's a little folksy.
Hmm.
For like the main part, isn't it? Folksy?
Folks, see,
It's like it's a kind of a folksy style. Isn't it? I mean,
When you're talking about the.
yeah.
So
Like
I
right
thought
on
it was
the-
more industrial, but what do I know?
So I,
Do you want a different color for that area? Would you want like
No,
that
I-
and silver? Would you want red or?
Red and
No, I
silver
like,
is
I like
great.
either of these, yeah.
I like the color, and I think it's nice having the red inside on the other.
I like it, and I like a theme.
well, the red on the inside is more expensive.
Oh, is it?
The one on the right is the one that's, he said it was fewer had been purchased, so that was the less expensive than the two.
For what it's worth, that one sculpture on Grant and Fremont has like always caught my eye ever since I was little. I've always, so I don't know, there's something about the red, you know, that's really,
A lot
I-
of sculptures in public art are red because it pops as you
Mhm.
drive by, like, Musical Gamble.
Yeah,
Whether I like that piece or not, I notice it because of the
all the
color.
time. Yeah, no, definitely.
but I like the silver because then it adds some like dimension to it. A little more interest. I mean, even the silver inside is great too.
Yeah.
Now, what do we have by Duffy already? Is it the piece right out? We don't have anything?
No. Nothing. So the Day in the Serengeti was by the same guy who did,
Yeah,
the three.
but I thought maybe the, you know, that piece, right outside, what used to be the costume store on Main's.
That is, the
That's-
Guardian. and I don't know
No, not the
name.
Guardian, the other, that other,
That's Arts Los Altos.
oh, that one with the,
That's Arts Los Altos.
oh, okay, I thought it was a similar style.
It probably is similar in that, it may be laser, the pieces look.
Yeah,
Fairly
I
laser
just- I
cut
thought
plus.
maybe it was the same thing.
All right, so now that we've looked at these pictures over and over and over, should we go around and say what we're thinking?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, it's not my place to dictate what we're gonna do, so I'll start with Janet.
Yeah, I know.
Janet, you go and-
I mean, I think I've always have been a big fan of the heart. So I would say if it was possible, given that we have the budget, that we get, don't kill me, 3 hearts. One for where Jenna was saying, one for the median in front of Chevron, and then one maybe well, where Terry could figure out where it would be. It's too bad we can't do San Antonio, but some other place, maybe in middle Los Altos. So
Like I said, that median, that big huge island on Rosita and Covington.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's
Rosita,
middle Los-
Covington or Riverside?
Sorry, Riverside and Covington.
Yeah, by the
Excuse
Rancho
me,
side, like,
Riverside and Covington.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
that gets a lot of traffic.
Mhm,
A lot of,
yeah,
it's always on next door.
and then everyone going down to Springer would see it,
mhm.
right? Can you see that from Springer?
You could see it from Springer. Yeah.
That's great. So that's what I'm thinking, Jenna.
Yeah, I love all of the suggestions brought together. Thank you for working on that.
Well,
And thank you for sourcing all of
yeah,
those. I
Monica
know
did
it was a
all
lot of work.
Monica did all.
I think they all like would be well suited for our town, with the exception of that
buy
one
them
that it's a little triggering for me, but
So,
but
dialogue.
art is provocative and
Oh, you
subjective, so-
mean that? Oh,
yeah,
yeah, the humanity.
yeah, yeah. But I think
You gotta find a place. for it.
too.
You gotta find a
But
place. for
but in the
it.
interest of
Yeah.
having a sculpture that represents like welcoming you into Los Altos and what we represent, I think a heart is appropriate. So, and I think it is a well done sculpture.
Well, I'm in the minority, so my opinion is that
No, you're welcome.
You have to have your
You all
opinion.
don't agree. I do, I have it, and I'm gonna share it.
Right on, sister. Go for it.
So my opinion is that I would love to see a piece in downtown in the square. And have it be, I like the blue head on the pedestal. I think that would be striking and beautiful and a wonderful gate piece. Or to go back to dialogue, do something about the penis and still have it there in that location. In my opinion, I would rather have one spectacular piece that may cost more than having more pieces. And it's just my take on, that's how
So which one would that be? Like,
so either dialogue with some kind of alteration or the blue head on a pedestal. On a
Can I
Roman.
ask for you to try and get in touch with the artist who did dialogue and see? When it comes to bronze, I understand that you've got to make all these castings and such.
Yeah,
It
he's
would be
gotta
a
cast.
major probably redo to.
which one is
Change
dialogue? I forget.
The one with
The
the
bull and the
bull
child.
and the child, but I
Sorry,
think,
facing off.
I don't know that, I mean, if it's not gonna be, if there was something to do, I don't know that this commission would still agree to it. So why bother? I don't want to get its hopes up. I mean, if it is an option, like people would actually say, yeah, that would look good with a slight alteration in the square, and that would be like a piece with gravitas that people would go and look at and talk about. And it would be spectacular. If people are considering that maybe that could be an option, I'll go, but if people are like, no, then I don't want to.
Okay. I'll say something about the blue head. I think we probably shouldn't put it in Veterans Plaza because a certain member of this commission years ago pushed so hard to get Walter Singer, which was a bust, out of Veterans Plaza. It would look odd to members of the community that we pushed one bust out of Veterans Plaza to put another bust.
Well, I disagree. I mean, that's a bust of a person. It's an homage to someone, in particular. This is just a whimsical piece of art that is fictional.
I would concur with you on that.
Yeah, it's not at all, I mean, I would say interchangeable.
Before we because I love that piece, but I do want to make sure that it can be exposed to the elements,
Yeah,
I-
now again, if this group says that if it can be exposed to the elements, that would be an option, I'll go and, because this is an artist, that we have to write to. And then I would go and inquire, but if it's not,
I mean, I think it's worth it. I also think it's worth it to re-explore the dialogue piece.
yeah, if
I don't know, I'm open to it. I don't know how everyone else.
If that's, if that's an option, then I'll go and I can investigate.
I
but
can
I-
help reach out to the artist.
Sure.
I feel like I want to make a decision today, and I feel like the blue statue, which is beautiful. I just feel like it's not the right piece for a gateway piece, sorry, but I think it would be beautiful in the community center or something like that, but, you know, for the reasons you were raising, the maintenance and, you know, I don't know, and it, you know, it just doesn't seem like the right piece. It's also really expensive, and I feel like we get more bang for our buck with the hearts, and the hearts I feel are more connected to Los Altos as opposed to, what kind of looks like Medusa. You know,
She's a muse.
yeah,
I mean-
yeah, that's true, she's a muse.
It's a small piece. I think it would be nice in the entrance to a building,
Yeah,
you know, where it's a small.
Yeah. well, that's my opinion. But I mean, I can, I can
No, you're.
explore, but if we're not gonna really go there, then I don't.
Well, for our next meeting, maybe we could, right?
But for
if we
what
have a-
piece? If we spend all of our money on hearts, then what do we got left?
What are we planning to spend over?
We'll have money next year.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
But
I'm up in
you're
September.
emailing me all the stuff and I'm gonna have it and I'll still
Yeah,
be
you'll be there
there.
in spirit.
Well, just like we had some of these items came in 2 years
For
ago,
the new commission.
we can
Right,
still,
you can go back.
still revisit
Yeah.
pieces that were previously shown. All right.
I concur with Janet. I like the idea of 3 hearts. It's consistent. People will come into town, they'll see hearts. It just makes sense to me.
I'm gonna echo Janet and Terry's comments.
Yeah, I like the hearts and I like the piece that we saw 3 versions of it. It's colorful. I think I like color. And it would stand out.
You have a lot of color on.
We all know in black, so. But I don't know, I just think it's attractive, it will be seen and welcome, you know. So I think that the hearts are nice, maybe have 2 hearts and one of this, 2 or 3 hearts.
I think
so.
the idea of a gateway, this, the 3 hearts would kind of connect the city.
Right.
So I think the other piece, while I love it,
Yeah,
it would be a non sequitur, so.
yeah, so maybe we should go with the 3 hearts.
all
Does
right.
anybody want to make a motion?
We're looking at Janet, she was the one who reminded me about them.
All right, so I move that we purchase, I don't know if this is what we've all discussed, 3 hearts from Mr. Duffy as gateway pieces to be placed at the median across from Chevron, and
Grant and Arboretum.
the 3rd place TBD by Terry.
Riverside and Covington.
We can talk about how much we're spending.
Is it not Riverside and Covington?
Yeah.
Oh, Riverside and Covington.
Riverside,
Riverside,
Covington.
Covington.
Yeah,
And
the median, there's a median
And you got,
No, it has to be
No.
majority.
majority.
so you need a second, right?
yes,
I second it.
thank you.
So this would be to recommend to the council that we authorize the
Yes.
purchase of
Yeah.
the
Oh.
3 pieces.
Wait, why recommend to council? I thought we could spend we could spend 70,000 without that.
So when the project was created, it was, the money was put in there for the, as a placeholder for the commission to come back with a recommendation to the city council on how it would be.
Oh,
The
okay, because I
70,000.
read something different. I thought
read
you only
the-
need to have a contract. If a contract is over 75, I think it was, it has to go.
Well, it's different,
That's in the-
it differs, but the council has to approve the spending first. And so the council put the money aside, with the understanding that the commission would come back.
Okay,
and
so that was
recommend
a specific, that was a specific,
Specific line item in the budget.
oh, I see. Okay, so it doesn't go with the regular contract price. Like
It's not part of the ordinance itself. It's based on the ordinance bringing money in, but it's a line item in the budget is what you're saying, John, right?
Yeah, well, like I say, the council needs to authorize the use of those funds.
Okay.
And it won't be at the meeting on Tuesday because it's not on the agenda.
It will take a couple of weeks to get on the agenda. Was that the motion you made?
Yes. Yes, thank you, John.
A second. And you're gonna email us all those pictures, right? Thank you.
Okay. You ready for the vote?
Sure.
All those in favor? Any opposed?
Oh, I am. Good.
That's
That
okay.
motion
You-
passes.
No, it's.
Thank God someone has the guts to say no. No, I'm kidding.
No, seriously.
But I do recommend that everybody go back and revisit these with the combined.
Yeah.
commission. There were some good pieces.
I have to find a place for that blue lady.
Yeah.
And I will, trust
The
me.
muse.
The muse.
Okay. 2 down, 2 to go. John, you will email all of us and tell us when it's on the calendar so that we can go to the council meeting. and stuff. Okay. Item 3, community art engagement. I think this was more placeholder. I don't know if we had anything.
So the subcommittee had, and the commission had talked about having an event in July. Is that still
Mm-hmm.
happening?
So I went back and looked at the minutes
Uh-huh.
because I wasn't clear on that myself. And so I think what we determined was July was not going to work out for scheduling.
Correct.
And so
Was it
the
October?
community art engagement project will be October 14th, 2023. And I checked and that's a Saturday.
Great.
So.
Okay.
You don't need to run that by Parks and, I mean, when. Is
It's
that,
done.
it's,
Because it's-
right? I mean, if we vote on that, it's
Oh.
set in
Yeah,
stone,
it's-
right? We don't need to like revisit it.
Oh, okay.
So the Parks and Rec and Pete can probably educate us much more than I'm about to speak, but they do have events where they go around.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if we have something on the calendar, I can't see them.
Yeah. We'll work together.
Okay, item 4. Art at City Hall. John, I sent you the presentation I made. Back in April, I think. But you'll talk about what you found out as far as us painting the stairs. And if anybody feels like they've seen this before, it's because you have. All right, so I have made some slides just showing you ideas of what can be done with staircases. If I recall, when we went out there, there were 3 stairs.
Mhm.
And John, when you spoke to other folks in the city, what did they tell you about?
So, you know, it has the yellow paint on the top and the side. The code is, it needs to differentiate. So,
Top from
yeah, so we'd have to have something on the top that is starkly contrasted to what is on the side. If
But
that
it makes sense.
So if the side was painted, you know, primarily red, then we could leave the yellow strip on the top just so that.
Does it have to be a yellow strip, or when I look at a staircase like this, the top part where you put your feet is, you know, no color, monotone. So that it kind of differentiates.
Well, so my guess is these are standard size steps.
Are these
and
not
these
standard?
Are not standard, and so that's why you have
Oh, so the tread isn't quote legal.
the depth or the height is not
Mm-hmm. Got
the
it, yeah.
standard size, and
Okay.
so. It, you know, and if the side is primarily yellow. And then the top was something that contrasted that, that's fine as well. Just
We
needs to be a
can't do it on Brook
contrast.
Road.
Darn it. Okay,
We can,
we can make it work.
yeah, no, worry about that.
So my thought is, and this would end up going into the combined commission is. If we want to go forward with this idea is to work with the city to have a call for art, come up with a theme. And then work with the city for the call for art, saying, here's the theme, here's a
Yeah.
little bit of background about the city of Los Altos, here's the measurements. And here's the budget. And then the combined commission would be looking at the results of the call for art.
Cool.
Deciding either we like these or no, we don't like any of these and not doing the project. But that would be my recommendation. I don't know how others feel.
I like that.
So John, would we need a subcommittee to work on that or how, what would you recommend?
Yeah, I mean, we currently have a subcommittee. that
Yeah, you guys
works on
already have a
this.
subcommittee.
So I think that's fine for that subcommittee to come up with something and
I think I was
Who's
on
Yeah,
the
it's Janet.
subcommittee.
Janet, Monica, and myself.
So would we work with you to do a call or how would we
and
do that?
you will work with staff.
Staff. Oh, you're getting rid of us already.
I'm not
Oh,
saying that.
is that Mr. Staff or Ms. Staff? What is staff's pronouns and who, should we just wait to find out who we'd be working with?
You can still talk.
That's fine. You'll still answer the phone occasionally. I think we would need to make a motion to have the subcommittee continue to work on that. Because I'll make a motion that the subcommittee that was working on the stairway in front of the city council chambers continue their work and create a call for art that hopefully can actually go out before the first combined meeting, which will be in August sometime, but that they're allowed to go ahead and get that call for art out. I no idea who that is.
And would we do it also to the town crier right away so that the artists that live locally?
Yeah, that's a good idea. We could do it through Cafe, which is a national call for art.
The problem
gateway.
is there were people in Los Altos that didn't know about the last one. And I feel like we should have it somehow. I know you would do it, but I think if we could have a little spot in the town crier, I think that would be great because
We could contact Bruce, and we could also hopefully get it in the city manager's weekly update.
yeah, right.
We could post on Nextdoor.
Yeah, post on next door.
And if
Yeah.
we did a call for art, we need to think about, maybe the subcommittee can decide what the theme should be, if people are okay with that. I think we maybe a deadline of sometime in September, and then maybe in the October meeting for the combined commission, they either choose something or decide that not to choose something, but. All right, was that rambling? Was that enough of a,
Yeah, so the subcommittee would work and develop a call for art with some missions due in September.
yes,
Great. Awesome.
you want to take the vote?
Well, is there a second?
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes unanimously.
Okay, now that we're done with all that exciting stuff. Informational items, John.
So the Walter Singer bust was mentioned earlier. I have been told that it is almost in.
I saw the
Pedestal is there, the plaques are up. They just need to put it on top. So hopefully that'll be done this week. As mentioned earlier, Dan, the Serengeti, finalizing the agreement, and getting that signed so that we can finalize that. And then we're still working on the last few remaining sculptures that the commission had approved for installation. And when I have installation dates, I'll let you know.
Any update on the maintenance agreement?
So I did reach out to Preservation Arts after the last meeting, and thank you for reminding me because I have not heard back from them. So I will follow up with them.
And then for our new shiny new commission, I guess we'll hear back from the city.
Somebody will be in touch.
Yeah, we'll be in touch. And then maybe my last question, any idea how much is in our kitty currently, give or take?
Last I know was still about $500,000.
And do we have any new projects that are potentially coming down the pipeline that you know? of?
Always have projects that are coming down the line. When they will submit their fees, I couldn't tell you.
Anyone have any other questions for Don?
So our budget will merge with Parks and Rec, right? It'll become like a communal pot sort of, or
You know, the public art funds will remain public art funds.
Hmm.
So they can only be used for what's listed in the ordinance, which is acquisition, maintenance, promotion of public art on city-owned property. So those funds will stay separate from the park and rec funds or
And Park and Rec had money coming in for the park and lieu fees. Can you explain that so that people know what the
I think that would be a good thing for somebody from
staff?
the recreation department to the Parks and Recreation Department to explain.
It's in your, on the website.
It is, but yeah, I think that'd be good for,
Okay, maybe I'll try and boil it down and correct me if I get anything wrong here, but money comes in, just like we have an ordinance when someone builds. They pay fees for park and recreation, which is fairly common in the cities that, so they have their own funds that city council in the last meeting on Tuesday said we're gonna allocate it for certain projects, so. They have funds here and public art has funds here. And they technically, I think, should not be commingled, so that the ordinances have them separate.
Right, that's important.
Did I get that correct?
yeah, so the public art funds will stay only for public art.
So
Now-
when will our next meeting be? This is the last by ourselves,
This
right?
is the last regularly scheduled meeting.
So when will it be? You will let us know?
Staff will let you know.
We'll let you know.
Do we get a say, or is it gonna be like a set day and time?
There, that will be something for the new commission to figure out as when, what day and what time the commission is gonna meet.
So if 5 o'clock doesn't work, you can maybe argue for 6 o'clock.
So there'll be an opportunity for. I just know there's like a certain day and time that I cannot do it, because I'm the newly elected PTO president at school, and so Wednesdays I cannot, like Wednesdays are off the table for me.
Well, and Park
So I
and
know
Rec
it's not
normally
there.
is meeting on Wednesdays. I see Pete nodding his head.
Split the difference and do it like, what is that, do it like Thursday night at midnight or something?
Well, keep in mind, there are more of us until September than there are them, so, exactly, not that I've spent any time thinking about it. Let's see.
Vinny and John need to get together and figure out who's going to be, or how they're gonna divvy up staff responsibilities too, and that will bear on somewhat on the issue of
We're working on it.
meetings with her.
Okay, so no
Thankfully,
Wednesdays
John
yet.
and Mandy don't like to work at midnight.
Yeah.
So we're lucky there.
I know John is a family, I don't know if Manny is a family, but I can
Yes.
assume he doesn't want to work at midnight.
He does.
Yes, and his neighbors don't like him in his garage at midnight on Zoom calls.
Okay, my fellow commissioners, do you have any reports or comments?
I have a sweet comment, actually. I shared this with Terry earlier. So, back when we did the painting event,
This is darling.
yeah, I think it was like our very first one in the community center.
The orchard.
Yeah, the orchard painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, so I have a cousin who I invited him to it, and he had no previous like painting experience or knowledge or interest. And so he came just kind of on a whim, and he has now like taken a very strong interest in painting. And he shares with me and it's so sweet. He's like bought all these art supplies, and I think it's just like a really like cathartic, like really important activity for him. Yeah, and so.
And he was a little bit lost,
Yeah.
and now he has a
Yeah,
hobby.
it's like a great outlet for him. I feel like it's like really healing. He's in his 20s. Yeah. Yeah, and so he'll like text me all the time what he's painted, and so yeah, art doing good for the
Power of
community.
art.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, maybe one day he'll come back and do a mural for us, or
Yeah.
paint the stairs.
Oh, that's what we need to make sure he gets invited to the next.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
is a beautiful new mural of birds.
That is artless also, and it looks like a paint by number.
Did you see it?
Yes, I saw.
With the birds, yeah, she was doing it.
On the commissioner's report, I just want to say it's been fun. We have cake. John has put-
Oh, that's nice.
John bought us a cake.
John
So
knows
nice.
how much.
With his own money.
Thank you for being our chair. You're doing a great job. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
It's been a great commission.
I know, I know.
When do you come out?
Please.
September.
Yeah.
Adjourned?
What do you want to go home? Is that what you're trying to say? You just want cake?
Stop the recording.
Um,
Stop the.
oh yeah, stop.
Thank you very much.